Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. If I could describe Stella's character in one phrase, I would call it character assassination. I'm disappointed in the character today. I understand that they gotta sit there and find ways to stretch this story out into the 14th, where everything drops. The all the stuff that's gonna go down is gonna go down that day. But this is where we get to a point of what I call character assassination. The old Stella would have ripped Portia apart. Okay, she really would have went in on her. But this Stella, you know, going to this bridal shop, going to this whole, you know, um, dress fitting and everything like that with Portia, and grinning and smiling and kind of throwing her shades with like looks and certain looks and certain phrases. This isn't the Stella that we knew. Stella, the same Stella that had no problem confronting Jordan at her job in front of all her coworkers like she did not care whatsoever. It's the same Stella that is looking at Portia, knowing that she's lying about Curtis, about the fact that Trina is her niece, is not going to say anything. It's just going to be like, oh, yeah, mm hmm, and saying all these little phrases, and then at first not accepting the bracelet that Portia gave her, just under 5 minutes. Okay, fine, I'll wear it. What are you doing? And then she got her dress on and everything like that, and she turns around and she looks herself in the mirror, and it's one of those things where it's like, it's very hard to sit there and look herself in the mirror with the decisions that she's making right now. And I'm just like, yeah, it is hard because this isn't the Stella that we knew when you first came to town. So to sit there and say I'm disappointed in her character today is an understatement. So is Harmony like the Grim Reaper at this point? The all black, and she's all like, oh, come into the light. I'm the only family that you need, and this, that, and the third. It made me thought, this isn't really Harmony. Harmony was a POS. Okay, let's just be real. Harmony was a POS. Well, Harmony, in her own weird, sick self, did care about Willow. Okay, so this Harmony wouldn't have wanted her to go into the light. I'm the only family that you need. No, she would have wanted her to sit there and fight to stay alive, to be with her family, to be with her loved ones. So I don't know what that version is, but she is definitely not Harmony. Um, Besides, somebody said this in the live stream yesterday. As far as being like her guardian angel and stuff like that. It's like, come on, seriously? After all the stuff that Harmony did, eh, she's not. Harmony wouldn't be in heaven, okay? So wherever she plans on taking Willow, it is definitely not upstairs. This makes me think, and this makes me wonder, why was Willow so accepting, so willing to go into the light, so willing to sit there and just decide, yeah, have a baby that just got born and Wiley. Yeah, I think I'm gonna sit there and just go into the light. Like, why is she so willing to just give up? It didn't really make a lot of sense to me. It was kind of weird. It wasn't even just weird. It didn't make any sense. But yet she was willing to sit there and start stepping and going further into the light. And I'm like, this doesn't really make a lot of sense. It really doesn't. Um, But of course, this is plot over logic and common sense. They had to sit there and add some sort of suspense. And two, Michael was sitting there praying with with Nina and Sonny, and Willow heard Michael's voice. So now she's in recovery and she just hasn't woken up yet until, I guess, until they need her. Until they need her. It was a little brief scene with Curtis and Nina. Only thing I would sit there and say about this scene is that I do appreciate their friendship. Curtis is always going to sit there and look out for Nina, always going to have her back, you know. And I like that. I like that. So they talked, and just congratulating her on finding Willow, and saying that he wants both of them to come to the wedding. So it was a nice little scene. Um, Michael, Jocelyn, and Carly looked at the baby. That's like 2 years old or three. And Bobby was there because, now this is what Bobby's relegated to. I remember back in the day, Bobby used to actually have stories. I know, fun times, right? I mean, there's nothing wrong being a supporting character. Maybe she just is tired, or maybe she's too busy being on the bay. I have no idea. But now she's just relegated to supporting character or cast. So okay, sure, whatever. Um, Nice little bonding scene between the three women, the three generations of Spencers, and yeah, sure. Um, it was a fine scene, I guess. Trina and Spencer. Trina and Spencer. I know a lot of people like those two together, and that's cool and everything. But I'm looking at this scene, right? Spencer wants to use this evidence. Trina's sitting there trying to talk him out of it. Spencer's like, listen, I need to use this evidence. I need to use whatever I can to make sure that this child doesn't grow up to awful parents like Nicholas Nesmith. I don't want my brother or sister to endure all the pain and suffering that I did. So he has his reasons of why he wants to do it. And he's like, listen, I got to use every dirty trick in the book to sit there and win this case. But Trina isn't that they're trying to talk him out of it. Now, I'm not saying that your partner, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever, got to sit there and constantly co-sign everything that you do. This is one of those things where I'm just looking at it, right? I'm looking at it, and I'm like, and at the end of the day, you kind of got to be this ride or die. You know, you could voice your opinion, but at the end of the day, you're either going to stand with him, or you're going to be constantly sitting there nagging him um, about his moral questions at every point in time. First is this, right? What's next? I don't know. Maybe I'm just not there kind of looking at it because I'm looking at Xander and Sarah from Days of Our Lives, and it's one of those things where it's like Sarah is in. To me, I'm just like, bro, you know exactly what you're getting into. You knew what kind of person he was when you met him, and yet you sat there and you complained and you whined about every single decision that he made. And I'm like, bro, you're either gonna sit there and ride with him, or maybe he needs to sit there and find somebody else. And granted, this is only just one instance. They're just getting together really for the first time. But it's just one of those things where it's like it starts to become a pattern. And granted, yeah, I understood her reasons why. Um, Talking about, well, the major points was the fact that Spencer still loves his dad, and once he uses this bombshell, that's going to destroy any sort of those two actually becoming father and son again. It's going to destroy all those chances. That's going to go out the window. On top of the fact that if it does get out, you can go to jail. Okay, there's a possibility that he can either go to jail or it's just going to wreck whatever little chance that they actually have as far as reconciliation. So yeah, I'm not sitting there saying that she's wrong to sit there and kind of put her 2 cents into it. But at the end of the day, again, we either going to sit there and ride with him on his journey of fighting his father for custody, or maybe you should sit there and kind of just reevaluate your relationship with him. Nicholas is Smith here trying to play Esme. He tells her that, he's the father, and, she is just kind of shocked and overwhelmed, and she's wondering why Spence would sit there and say anything as far as him being the father of the child. But, long story short, Nicholas gives her a paper to sign. It's like, hey, listen, you give me the rights to this child right now, and, we'll be waiting for you when you get out. And now she's not there just wondering what she should do. Now this is where I would sit there and give the prop. This is where I would give the writers props. Because in the beginning, I couldn't stand Esme. I couldn't stand her. It's making me root for Esme. Now, don't get it twisted, okay? Just because I'm actually having more sympathy for the character, it doesn't erase what she did, okay? With the whole, revenge tape, framing Trina, all of it, okay? But, this is a girl who is right now, she has no memory of what she's doing. She had no memory of who she was before, okay? She woke up in the hospital, found out that she was pregnant, you know, and now she's confused, she's scared, she's lost. Yeah, the crime still happened, and yes, she is still guilty of what she did, regardless if she has no memory. But it's just kind of a crap situation to be in. I mean, to be honest, even when she did remember what she was doing, it did start to make me like Esme a little bit more, or at least have a bit of sympathy for her. Doesn't excuse or erase some of the stuff that she did, and I acknowledge that, but again, it makes me actually have more sympathy for her. Carol tells Liz that, Nicholas isn't really to be trusted, and, she was only there to sit there and kind of do something for Nicholas as far as Esme. But realizing that, she just didn't like the situation, and, her doing what she did to Liz, she was like, she couldn't go through with it. Long story short, she was just like, listen, don't trust Nicholas. Okay? Just don't trust him. And she also was like, she's leaving town, and so, I won't be a bother, yada, yada, yada. And she's probably going to be there a little bit longer. Because, at this point, Liz is starting to forgive her. She's starting to, in some ways, well, not forgive her, but forgive her for the sake of her children. There's a saying, or there's a thing that people do where it's like, they forgive someone for them, just to let go of it, like, I'm going to forgive you for me. I can't see me ever doing something like that, but I feel like that's the mentality that Liz is starting to have. Towards the end, she's snipped there when Nicholas comes in, she's snipped there giving him the stink eye and everything like that. Um, I just don't understand why Nicholas didn't really tell her the real reason why she should help. Because I felt like that would have been a much more, that would have been a greater incentive. And it probably would have got her to do it, other than vaguely saying that, well, listen, it's going to help out Liz at the same time. It's not just going to help me out, it's going to help Liz out. And just assuming that she was just going to go through with it. I don't know, maybe because he didn't want to have her have something over him. But at the end of the day, if she doesn't help you, then you're still screwed. Like, if she remembers at some point, what are you going to do then? Not really making a lot of sense. It really doesn't. yeah, I think that's pretty much about it. I can't really think of anything else that happened in this episode. So, with that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe. If I didn't miss anything, we'll sit there and talk about it during the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. So hopefully I'll see a lot of people there tonight. Yeah, so with that being said, I'm going to go. Thank you for watching. Be safe, and I will see you in the next video.